All right, Carl.
hmm
Carl, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
I grew up in Kansas City, Kansas,
Kansas City.
um, for first 7 years of my life, and then we moved. I got adopted and moved to Oklahoma for a year, and then we moved down to Galveston, Texas.
Oh wow. So tell me about your family. You had mom and dad initially.
Yeah, my biological parents. My mom was a prostitute, and my dad was a biker, and he got in trouble. He killed a prostitute in front of me when I was a child.
You
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
wow.
was like my earliest childhood memories that I
Jeez.
remember.
And where did your life go from there?
Well, I became pretty violent, and I got adopted. My mom couldn't take care of me and two kids on her own, being strung out and, you know, like she was. And so we got adopted to this Catholic family, and they were real strict. And I knew I was old enough to know that they weren't my family, so uh, I became very oppositional, you know. And they couldn't handle me anymore because I tried to catch school on fire. I stabbed a kid at school, and I was just too much for them. And I was running away all the time. So they gave me back to the state. So from 11 to 18, I was in group homes,
Mm.
and that's where I learned to do drugs. Pretty much was in the group homes. I
This,
raised myself,
this was where
in Texas.
in Texas.
Yeah,
Okay.
Texas.
You
And
graduate high school?
huh?
Did you graduate high school?
No, I got my GED when
Yeah.
I was in prison.
Right. And after that, where'd you go?
Um, well, I had this one group home I was in like south of Fort Worth. I became real good friends with with a couple of the counselors there, and um, this lady Janine, she was working there. She was saving up to get a sex change. She was she was a different person, uh, than the Seventh Day Adventist community that this place was in, where she lived. So uh, I took to her because I liked her. She was really cool, and she always told me whenever I turned 18, if I needed somewhere to go, she'd count on me. I could count on her for a place to live. So I got a hold of them when I turned 18, and I went and lived with them for a while, and that's when I really started using drugs a lot, you know, because they did a lot of drugs.
What kind of drugs were you playing around with then?
Um, I started out. I started out for the longest time just smoking weed, and then I got turned on to some speed one time with these two lesbian friends that I had, and they gave me a line of it, and I really liked it. So this other girl that I knew named Kay, she wanted me to hang out with her, but she shot up, and I wanted to impress her because I was trying to get with her. So I started shooting up, and that's how that got started. And it was downhill from there. I got introduced to cocaine, and I started shooting coke, and it was all bad. I got my first prison case, and went and did 8 years, got out, and started back on the dope. And from that point, it was like everything I did, I had to shoot up, because that was the only way I got high on anything.
How old are you now?
I'm 44.
44. And you've been on drugs most of the time?
I've been on drugs since I was 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what is your favorite drug today?
Fentanyl,
How did I guess?
fentanyl, and crystal meth.
And meth too?
Yeah. I can't have one without the other.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met quite a few people that do both.
Yeah.
Why do you do both?
I do the crystal because it keeps me from overdosing. It helps keep from when the fentanyl's too strong. As long as I got crystal in it, it keeps me alive. I think. I mean,
Have you OD'd?
I haven't OD'd yet. No, I've been lucky. I've had all my friends have died from this stuff. And it's sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
And do you have kids?
I have one son.
Where is he?
He's in Kansas City. I miss him. I haven't got to see him since he was 5. He just turned 14, and I know that I can't be in his life as long as I'm strung out like I am.
Yeah.
I have a place to live in Kansas City. I have a house. I don't know. I don't want to be there strung out like this.
Right.
You know.
And you've been on Skid Row for how long?
I've been on Skid Row for 11 years.
Really?
Yeah.
You're in a tent?
Yep.
Yep.
Live in a tent.
How do you support your drug habit?
I'm a booster.
Mm.
I boost. I steal things from stores, and I sell them.
Do you ever get caught?
Yeah, I've been caught a couple times. Not as many times as other people. I'm pretty good at it. You know?
What's your technique?
I don't know. I guess it's just my luck. You know.
Yeah, that has a lot to do
I
with
look
it.
like a booster. You know?
So I've talked to some people who just fill their backpack and rush out the back door.
Yeah, a
of the
lot of
store,
people do that.
And other ones are more
they just hit
discreet.
the emergency exits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you sell it to?
Just people on the street. A
Yeah.
fence.
Oh, fence. That's right.
Yeah, they call them
Yeah,
fence.
fence.
There's people that resell it. You know, I don't want to get too much into it, but
Yeah, I don't want the details.
there's a lot bigger black market than people think. You know, I'll just put it that way. It's a pretty big deal. You know, it's amazing how big it is, really, and how people get away with it. You know.
And what's your biggest regret looking back at your life?
My biggest regret is walking out on my family. You know, my kid's mom and my kid.
Yeah. How old is your son?
He's 14 now.
14.
Yep.
Did you have dreams of doing something else with your life when you were young?
Yeah, I wanted to. Yeah. At first, I wanted to work in a zoo. I always thought that would be cool. And then I got a hold of my first Indiana Jones movie, and I wanted to be an archaeologist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was. And then when I was in the group homes, I took to like trying to figure out like different professions. So I would like talk to the nurses and stuff a lot, and I thought about becoming something in the medical field or something, working with other kids that are disadvantaged, you know. But that failed.
Those would all be great.
Huh?
Those would have all been great paths to take.
Yeah. Regardless, you know, like you know, a lot of people come to me for help because, you know, I help a lot of people. I don't, and I do it without fail, without argument, or, you know, it's just something that drives me, you know.
In what ways
I feel like as long as I'm helping somebody, I'm doing some kind of good in the world.
In what ways do you help?
When people are dope sick or you know they can come to me and I'll get them well if I can get them well.
Mm-hmm.
If they need help with a couple bucks or whatever, you know, just any kind of help.
Yeah.
You know, if someone needs somewhere to crash for the night, you know, they can always come to my spot. And, you know, they don't have to worry about getting anybody messing with them or stealing their stuff, you know.
Right.
And that's something that's really big. People always get their stuff stolen out here.
Yeah. Do you have any friends?
I have a couple people I call friends, not too many.
Yeah.
I'm a loner, you know. I don't. I like helping people, but at the same time, I don't have time for idiots. And it seems to me like there's a lot of idiots out here.
Yeah.
You know?
What are you afraid of?
Spiders. No, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of death. I really am. I'm afraid this shit's gonna kill me.
Yeah, playing around with fentanyl is no joke.
Yeah.
Right?
And the worst part of it is I shoot it. I don't smoke it. You know, I do intravenous drugs, and that makes it a lot worse. You know, I've been lucky so far.
Yeah. So many people dying in the last few months from fentanyl.
Yeah,
Down
I've
here.
had a lot of friends die. A lot. Well over 20.
Yeah.
Well over 30. Probably 20, 30. Somewhere 30-something, I think I'm at. You know, I have to resuscitate somebody at least twice a week.
Wow.
You
You
know?
carry Narcan with you?
Yeah, I keep Narcan, you know.
Do you feel like the path your life took was somehow in your DNA from your mom and dad?
Yeah.
Prostitute and a biker for parents is probably.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. All my family's been to prison, except for my grandma. We've all done time. All my uncles are lifers. My dad did 38 years. He just got out a year ago. It's been really rough, really rough. I want to quit, I want to stop doing drugs. But it seems like whenever I do try, I just get so bored. There's nothing to do, I feel like I have nothing to do because I'm just so, I get really messed up emotionally, I'm real sensitive, and it's
What kind of emotions do you go through
a lot of guilt,
over your son?
because I've done a lot of shady shit, and I've done a lot of things that I regret, and I just wish that my life would have took a different path, I look back, I'm 44, I'm getting too old to do anything really now, and I don't want this the rest of my life, I really don't,
What do you wish had been different about your childhood or about your life?
I wish I grew up in Beverly Hills or something
With
like that,
different parents, perhaps.
Yeah, but, I accept my story for what it is, and I mean, it's not done being wrote.
Do you feel like life is unfair? You were dealt a.
I don't call it unfair, because you're born to who you're born to, and you're given, I was given opportunities that I could have took, but I chose not to because I wanted to party instead. I thought that was more important, and it wound up taking its toll on me, and it sucks. But I accept it for what it is, and I know that it's going to be a great story to tell to help people one day,
What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
That, I feel that the most important thing to me is that I've learned that fate is real, and that I was in love with this girl for 5 years, and when I went to prison this last time, she thought I was dead, and she killed herself, and I live with that every day,
Why? Because you disappeared?
Yeah.
Why did she think you were dead?
Because I shot this guy, and killed him, and I was hiding out from that, and she didn't know where I was at, and I just disappeared, and so everybody thought people retaliated and kidnapped and killed me, because nobody knew where I was at, and nobody had heard from me or any of that mess, and when I got out, it was like people were tripping. I had a friend over at the needle exchange. He fainted because he thought he'd seen a ghost. He didn't know that I was alive. He was like one of my best friends before I went to prison. And oh man, it's something. She did it in a very brutal manner too, and she was a very vain girl, but I loved her with all my heart, and I did everything for her. And when I didn't find out that she killed herself till I got out, the day I got out. And
I don't mean to be nosy, but I'll be nosy. How did she do it?
She doused herself with gasoline at a gas station and caught herself on fire.
Jesus.
Yeah. And
that's pretty gruesome.
Yeah. It kills me, because she was my life, she was everything to me. And she was the one that was actually helping me get my shit together, and I was helping her, and I was the best man she'd ever been with, even though of the situation we were in. But her family really liked me because, I made her happy, and that was something that she'd never really been in her life. So.
That's heavy. That's a lot to carry around every day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And, you know, the only way I can mask it really is with drugs, you know, or I feel, you know, because I don't get to talk to enough people. I can't show my emotions out here because, you know, people take advantage of that. And
Sure.
so it's really hard, you know, it's really hard.
Wow. All right, Carl, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah.
And I wish you the best of luck out there.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.